I want to start this with a public service announcement. Be very careful with scammers on Steam, Discord, even YouTube. I will elaborate now in order. Steam. If some random account with a low Steam level, maybe level 0 even, is telling you that your account is compromised and you have to contact someone from Valve on Discord, that's a scam. They're gonna steal your account. If you follow all the instructions of that so-called Valve official on Discord, you're just gonna open up your account. My account has two-factor authentication, so they have to do shit like that to steal it. This has happened to me 2 or 3 times so far, and I always noticed at some point that, wait a minute, you're instructing me how to disable the authentication on my account. If you're a Valve official, why the fuck do you have to do that? You have control over my account already. So yeah. Pretty much if any so-called official representative of any company is just casually talking to you on Discord, that is a person impersonating that official. Don't fucking fall for it. Put two-factor authentication on all of your accounts everywhere where you might suspect shit like this happens regularly. If you ever reach the point where they're asking you to disable and Valve gives you a message that says, enter this code to disable your two-factor authentication or move it to a different device, that's when you realize, okay, I have to stop. This is a trap. In my case, the most recent attempt on my account was one of my friends whom I trust to the point where if he says, hey, check this out, I'm just going to check it out without any hesitation. His account got compromised. They wasted his Steam points, which is not that big of a deal, but they could have done something worse. I guess they could have stolen some money by gifting a game to another account that's not his, if he had any funds in his Steam account. Ugh. And the thing is, if you read, I forget if it was the Steam FAQ or the support page or something like that, they mention all of these common scam tactics, but if nothing like this has ever happened to you, you might be completely unaware, so be aware. And even if the rest of this video is completely irrelevant to people, send them this chapter, because it's very important. The worst part is the friend whose account send that malicious link. That's the thing, if you get sent an out of the blue a link to a suspicious looking web page that looks like a Steam page, but it's offering Steam gift cards, that is one of the ways they get you. Just so you know what to be cautious of. Like, you need to compare official Steam page URLs to that to make sure that it's not that. And of course, if one of your friends sends you a sus link, don't think it's them. Do what I did just now where I called my friend. I'm like, hey, you just messaged me on Discord, right? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, just making sure that it's you. Oh, what a mess. Fucking scammers, man. What a bunch of bastards. And this has become apparently very common in the last 2 or 3 years or so. Now, that's all I have to say about that. Time for Trial 5. I think. Maybe I'll stick with null. Guess I don't have to mess with any of that. I'm pretty sure the trials are unaffected. Which is why they list their settings here. I'm wondering why this is on intense. Was it too slow-paced on mild? It's kind of weird. Makes me question if they balanced temple bosses around mild or not. Or at least base damage on mild. Or maybe it's on intense to make it even harder because you have half as much max life. Or some combination of both. Anyway. I'll just start. No need to speculate when I can just press a button and go. Oh. Okay, so... yeah. It's much like the seals and... oh, okay. So... so by doing this earlier, I really got ahead of myself, didn't I? Well, that makes Trial 5 even more horrifying. Because apparently paying $1 million scrap is not good enough. You have to also go through all this, so... I think I have an idea for Trial 2. Trial 3 and 1, I don't really know. I guess I'll look for the Trial 2 thing. I was given some pointers. Random thought, but the line about nobody can really use them anyway, I think means that humans or other creatures can't use them. So these ships that... I don't know if I heard something about this, but lore-wise I think the ships carry human souls or something like that. And they're obviously made to interface with the upgrade terminal. There's a very good reason I picked quickening, if I understand correctly. Yeah, maybe it's safer to do it the slow and lame way. But maybe avoiding all hits doesn't matter because, well, if I need quickening to do something, I think you can imagine that I'll have to perish. Why don't people use the word perish, by the way? I know you gotta clean up your language so that you don't get demonetized, but there are so many eloquent words you can use. Game overing yourself. What about ending it all? What, is that not poetic enough? Or is it so poetic that people don't understand what you mean? I don't know, it's just something I've noticed in the last few years. I am kind of an opponent of, or I guess I oppose. I don't know, maybe I'm not being too eloquent myself, but I'm not a fan of squeaky clean language that's sort of... Okay, so I wondered why these toggle blocks are a thing, but I'll finish my thought. I don't like it when we distance ourselves from real-world problems by phrasing it in ways that help us ignore reality, or at least dull the edge of reality to the point where we might as well be ignoring it. Like, I've never understood why saying that someone has died is considered offensive in some way. No, they passed away. It's like, what's the difference? Like, does that obfuscate the reality of death so well for you that me saying exactly what happened is somehow offensive compared to that? It's just so weird to me. I think it's irrational and emotional. Anyway, it's not really important. Huh. Is that how that normally works? Yeah, see, I think that's the only way, given the circumstances, to destroy that ghost block, and I hope that does something. But that is gonna make the rest of this perhaps a bit more challenging. Or maybe it's like I'm almost playing on intense lethality now. I guess the only thing I have to say on that, the only other thing I have to say on that topic from a minute ago is it only offends me when I realize that people are of terrible character. My threshold for that is very high. Either that or if someone is holding a almost completely unjustifiable, irrational, illogical position and refuses to listen to reason. That's the kind of stuff that upsets me. I guess it's sort of the antithesis of how I operate, and that's why. But no matter how blunt you are in describing something awful that's going on in real life, that isn't even gonna faze me. And now I will no longer talk about such things for the rest of this video. And I triggered the alarm in the previous room so that I could take out the ghost block. It's actually visible before you even trigger the alarm. Apparently gimmicks like these eyes are meant to make you use the dash more. I think the dash perfectly serves its purpose even without gimmicks like these, but this and the Thunderhead bullets are pretty good. That they don't feel like ham-fisted ways of making you dash. If ham-fisted even applies to computer games, but you know what I mean. I do think some developers almost want to force players to play a certain way, because they would feel like if they didn't play that way, their design wouldn't have been worth it. You know, you don't make a mechanic so players ignore it. But I think the correct way is to just make the game and the mechanics such that players would naturally want to use that mechanic. And you don't have to force their hand at all. Okay, so I think I got all the ghost blocks. I can understand how that might do something in here. Not alone, friends over there, relax. Pause and catch your breath. Maybe you can hear them too. After shooting all the oh! I saw that. Okay. So I was trying to do that, but you have to shoot all the ghost blocks. Damn. You can hear me? That's weird. Stop doing that. Is that it? Or am I supposed to... Like, maybe something's gonna happen later, but... Maybe I need to do that before I talk to this ghost, and that'll be different. I'm not sure. This is crazy. Oh, have I had to dodge that pattern before? Maybe not. I don't remember doing it recently. I do otherwise remember it from before Into Oblivion. I need to be careful. There was just a soul extractor in there, I think. Right. Ah. Wow. That was another piece, wasn't it? I knew that. I didn't say it, but I realized before when I found this space that one of those items could fit in here pretty well. So I guess that's all I needed to do there. No, not restart. Back to hub. Yes. Okay. That's crazy. You pay $1 million just to go down this rabbit hole, and you might not even be able to make it all the way down. What the hell could it be in here? This wall looked suspicious, but maybe these 3 tiles are the same just because... Tread lightly. Can't help but think that that's a hint. But if I head means this room, for instance, where I won't dash. Guess maybe that's treading lightly. I have no idea if I'm interpreting any of that correctly. I guess I'll take these. This room is also kind of weird, I think. But maybe... What could a bomb even do in here? If you couldn't guess, I wanted to fight the extra form of Chaos God. Maybe I need to do this whole thing without dashing. That would make sense. Yeah, I wanted to fight that extra form because I suspect that you'll have to fight it in Trial 5. But I wanted to present it the way you're supposed to find it, I guess, in regular gameplay. I think this is just lore. Unless it's not. Of course. Oh, this might be weird. I haven't dashed yet, have I? I've taken my finger off the right mouse button, but... Okay, I think I was suspicious of something here, but how did I do it last time? Maybe I'm trying to brute force, and I should finish the no dash and see if that's anything. Okay, I guess I could make my challenge run even harder, but I don't know about that. Then again, there is a challenge runner who sort of inspired me to play Trial 1 the way I did. And he specifically played Mega Man X, and he didn't dash, among many other things. But since I'm messing around with the trials, I might as well make this entertaining by talking about something. That player is Height of Beast. His Mega Man X challenge runs are really old. I think at least one of them was about 17 years old at this point. Maybe 18 or closer to 20. Yeah, I don't think that's anything. Yeah, my favorite of his playthroughs is the Mega Man X6 minimalist speedrun. You can imagine what that's like. It's extremely impressive for so many reasons. His commentary is so great. His audio quality is not the best, but it's fine. He more than makes up for it with how impressive that run is. I think he makes some great points about games at times as well. So yeah, Hide of Beast. I hope his stuff is still up. I was thinking of archiving it, because he kind of disappeared at one point. Maybe he just got busy with life. I just realized I did comment on some of his videos. I hope none of it was too cringe. I feel like this is something. But what could I possibly... I don't think the no dash thing really makes much sense. And I'm pretty sure beating Overlord is just gonna... Yeah. Should I try this again? Or... I will try again. I'll think. Tread lightly, huh? Maybe I'm fixating too much on that. But I still won't dash because I don't think I have to. So just in case it's relevant. Yeah, the block sprites are randomized. That was nothing. I'm thinking about what Trial 2. Yeah, Trial 2 is where I found a second piece. Did I have to destroy all of the ghost blocks? Is that just something people assumed? Because I don't remember if I stood in the exact spots and waited for that long when I first... No, I think I would have seen the particles. I was in front of the other... I assume it's a gravestone where the second ghost appears if you wait. Anyway, I found that. I should be thinking about this. Run that by me again. Tread lightly in the dark ahead. Made sure the displays spent a lifetime digging. In the end, much went lost and undiscovered. The unwary don't last long. I don't know if that has to do with the trials or what. Thinking of bombing in that room. If I don't come up with anything over the course of this run through the trial, I think I might move on to Trial 3. And then if I can't figure out anything there either, maybe I'll call it quits for now. I guess when I mentioned that Hyde of Beast didn't dash in his runs, that's another point I wanted to make about the dash in this game. It's fine if the game is possible to beat without the dash. If it's easier and more practical to dash at key points, that's as good as the dash needs to be. It just has to be useful. Besides, moving around is faster if you dash, so it's always going to serve some kind of purpose. But if you design your game where you're constantly forcing the player to use specific mechanics, not saying that that's what they're doing or that that's what they want to do, but just for the sake of argument, then there's only really one correct way to play a lot of the game. No challenge runs would be possible if you're forced to use things, which is why that X6 speedrun, that minimalist speedrun, he called it a speedrun, but he admits himself at some point in one of them that no reputable speedrun site would accept these runs. But hey, I'm the only one doing this, so might as well call them that. But one of the things about X6 that I think is really stupid is he had to break his own rules because it's the only Mega Man X game that genuinely forces you to use armors and other effects to be able to complete the game at all. To get through the equivalent of... X6's equivalent of the second Sigma stage, right? Gates Lab. I know that's the part where you just run into an inexplicably impossible screen. I think if regular bombs could open up a room, and that was the secret here, then there would be a cracked wall somewhere that I could notice, even if it was very subtle. But if I'm not supposed to use regular bombs, but an excavation bomb, then just like in the tutorial, they would probably give me an excavation bomb somewhere. But I can't see anywhere else where something could be hidden. Also finding it hard to draw a line between... Because obviously the ghost that told you to wait and listen for its friend, that was a hint for one of these fragment puzzles. But here, I can't draw the line between a hint and just general lore. Oh, well, I guess I dashed. Is this room kind of weird, or am I just paranoid? Where are the other crevices, though? I'm probably gonna feel very stupid later. That's what I find about puzzles. If you solve them yourself, you get the satisfaction of the aha moment. You feel like a genius. If you bash against your head, if you bash your head against them for so long that you eventually need help, well, that help might make you feel incredibly stupid. The duality of puzzle solving, I guess. And yeah, I experienced that with at least the first step of the tutorial's secret. Does the tutorial secret have anything to do with this? Maybe if I had bombs in here, that could help somehow. Pretty sure that ghost doesn't say anything that important. Only thing I can think of is interacting with this until something happens. That would be mean. I think that if anything does happen, Like, maybe something I do before this will make this come to life. That's all I can think of. Now I'm just trying everything. Okay, that's enough of that. I ran out of things to say anyway. Because the next screen is just the monolith, right? Yeah, it is. Although maybe I can bomb in here and something happens. No. I'm not gonna try everything like that. So, done. I understand now that this is where the hunt begins. Inconclusive, and I'll try this. This was the one with the block puzzles, right? I see one of these, and I can't help but suspect. No, maybe they wouldn't have any overlap between the puzzle methods. Yeah, I don't think a ghost's gonna appear here. But this is... Maybe I need to do weird things with the block puzzles or something like that. As was very rightly pointed out, it's quite fitting that this trial starts with 13th Visitor and ends with Monolith. Because in the main game, those two fights are meant to be bookends. I'm pretty sure. Do I just need to put the blocks in weird places or something? Yeah, I should have realized sooner. It was kind of, I guess I've already said, but it was frustrating to watch myself misunderstand these blocks. When this room requires you to complete the block puzzle, so obviously you wouldn't be able to get soft locked in here. I know the dev sensibilities, they wouldn't accept the idea of, oh, then you just restart if you got soft locked. No. If the block could get stuck, there would be a mechanism to reset the puzzle on that screen. I'm certain that's how that would go. I think I'm doing that thing where I'm pondering the puzzles so much that I'm not paying as much attention to the combat. Do you have anything interesting to say? All this time I feel no closer. Walls behind walls, floors below floors. Is there a bottom to this accursed place? Right. I don't think that's a hint for anything with the puzzles, but I can't be sure anymore. That doesn't offset it in any useful way. I'm trying to look at the room for signs of any other thing I could do with these blocks. Right. And that works. Can't come up with anything here. It might be interesting, actually, to just gather hints from the comments and use those. Maybe it'll be fun for all of us. Because I could easily look stuff up, but that wouldn't be as fun. Wondering if these do something else other than... One crazy thought is they make certain blocks non-solid, but you can't see that. Or maybe there is some subtle visual cue for that. I think I just solved this. But now I can get hit anyway, and I kind of want to. So yeah, that's not solid anymore, but... No, that was a crazy thought. I don't think that's the style of secret D13 would do. I don't think I'll do multiple runs through this trial if I can't figure anything out. Have I ever gotten hit in here? I don't recall that I did. Because I pretty quickly understood that at least. What could I even do with this? Nothing. I actually can't get it out of here. It would be stuck here, and then I would have no way to push it without it just returning to this position. Same on this side. I guess I'll just get hit. No. Just like before, I don't think that does anything. These are super well hidden. I do think I could have figured out the one with quickening. It's just having to then also idle in front of that gravestone when I've already tried that. There's some connection though. You broke all the ghost blocks, and I guess that freed the ghost you can then talk to. At least that's how I read that. I do not envy puzzle designers, I have to say, because you want puzzles to confound the people solving them, at least for a while. But if you make them too obvious and logical to the point where the solution just naturally follows, well... Okay, do you say anything? Hi-ho, traveler. I'm from the surface too. Many there don't believe this place exists. Wish I could tell them, believing somehow feels unlikely. No, I don't think that. Okay, you shoot, you shoot. I forget, how did I do this exactly? Oh wait, I remember. Oh, the block. Blocks. Doesn't it? For some reason I feel like this particular block could do something. But what? I can definitely shove it into weird places. But... then what? I think it's gotta be something... Wait a minute. Is there any reason this is... I interpret this sprite and animation as a lantern? By chance, does that have something to do with where I should be putting the blocks? I wasn't paying attention to the presence of lanterns before. Well, there aren't any of them in here. I think I was on the right track. Obviously, the way I solved this is the fast, skill-intensive method. But there has to be a more... more intelligent solution than that. I can't really offset these in much of any way, I don't think. I just go straight back. Because I can get that far, right? But then... my thought is if I offset these enough, maybe I can drop them down to this row to use as cover, just like I use these as cover. Shoot these back up, and then when these are up against the wall, if I shoot them like that, they would go 1, 2, 3, 4, and they'd be out. Maybe that's the solution. Even if I can't figure out how to do that, if I'm on the right track, I'm happy enough with that. Because I did solve this the other way. Yeah, so how could I offset this to be... oh. Well, I guess I have to do this now, but that's fine. Oh, maybe... oh, well, whatever. I was too focused on the blocks, and it was a lapse in concentration for the lasers. I think I get it. If I make the blocks bounce off of each other, maybe that can offset them enough to arrange them down here. Yeah, I think it was something like that. Right, you're here. That's how little the engorge bothers me. Sometimes I just forget about its existence. Okay, why are you here? Wait a minute. Does this room look weird? Doesn't this room look like this triggered and disabled a bunch of laser blocks? That's the other thing. If you could, through your hints in the comments, if you could tell me at what points what I'm saying is worth investigating, that would be a good way of doing it. Yeah, there is this as well. I think this is... taking damage in here doesn't do anything. I've done that. But there's no 2x2 block that'll disable those. And even if there was... and this is just a monolith fight. Okay. Second round of investigations, I guess. I almost have no idea about Trial 1 and Trial 3. Something with that room that I pointed out, but otherwise I'm not the least bit confident. I think a shorter video every once in a while is good. Is there anything else I would want to do? Practice, maybe? You can practice higher loop versions of bosses that you haven't encountered on that loop, right? It's pretty handy. Trying to think if any of these would be a good idea. I'm fairly certain the seal bosses are not affected by loops. That would be silly. Oh, did I ever look at these? Huh. Cool. I forgot to point out that the bosses have unique icons here. Oh, that looks really cool. Whoa. I don't remember before if bosses you haven't encountered appeared as question marks here. Maybe I saw that when I opened practice at some point before, but I've forgotten. If they do appear as question marks, I guess I've seen all the bosses. But why do I feel like that can't be right? I guess the loops have set quite the precedent with their new bosses. It's hard for me to imagine that that's it. Well, maybe the bestiary would give it away. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. Anything to say, Sentinel, or... Nice place. Together, let's get to the bottom of this with the trials. Thank you for watching.